Disney. The name conjures up a world of enchantment, a place where dreams come true, childhood fantasies spring to life. We picture princesses and pirates, talking animals, and soaring adventures. It's a world meticulously crafted to inspire joy, to ignite imaginations, to make us believe in magic. But what if this magical kingdom isn't as pristine as it seems? What if behind the gleaming facade, a darker history lurks? Every fairy tale has its shadows, every enchanted castle, its hidden dungeons. And the story of Disney is no exception. This is the story Disney doesn't want you to know. The story of hidden truths and uncomfortable realities. The story of the man, the empire, and the legacy built on a foundation of both light and shadow. Walt Disney, a name synonymous with imagination and creativity, the man who brought Mickey Mouse to life, who dared to dream of a world where fantasy reigned supreme. He was a visionary, a pioneer, a master storyteller who captivated generations, but behind the charming persona a more complex figure emerges, a shrewd businessman, a ruthless competitor, a man driven by ambition and shadowed by controversy. The very creation of his magical kingdom was fraught with conflict, whispers of labor disputes, allegations of exploitation, and a darkness that stretched beyond the studio walls, rumors of government ties, of secret pacts and hidden agendas. The man who brought joy to millions harbored secrets of his own, secrets that would tarnish the Disney legacy forever. Today, the Disney empire stretches across the globe, a sprawling media giant with unparalleled influence. Its reach extends far beyond theme parks and animated films. It shapes our entertainment, our news, our very understanding of the world. But as the empire expands, so too do the shadows it casts. The controversies of the past continue to resurface, questions of representation and diversity, concerns about corporate greed and unchecked power. This is the story of Disney's dark side. The story of the man, the mythology, and the empire built on a foundation of both dreams and darkness. This is the story Disney doesn't want you to hear, but it's time to look beyond the magic, to confront the truth behind the fairy tale. Walt Disney, a name etched into the fabric of American culture, the embodiment of imagination, the architect of childhood dreams. He was a man who seemed to possess an almost magical ability to tap into the deepest desires of the human heart, to transport us to worlds where good always triumphed, where dreams, no matter how fantastical, could come true. Born in 1901, Disney's early life was a far cry from the charmed existence his name would later evoke. His childhood was marked by hardship, financial instability casting a long shadow over his formative years. But even then, amidst the struggle, a spark flickered within him, a passion for storytelling, a fascination with the power of images to transport and transcend. This spark ignited into a flame when Disney discovered the burgeoning world of animation. He poured himself into his work, driven by an almost obsessive desire to breathe life into his creations. He experimented tirelessly, pushing the boundaries of what animation could be. His characters, imbued with a whimsical charm and an undeniable humanity, captivated audiences. Success, however, did not come easily. The early years of the Disney studio were marked by financial struggles and creative clashes. Disney, a demanding taskmaster, pushed his animators relentlessly, demanding perfection with each frame. He poured his heart and soul into the studio, often sacrificing his own well-being for the sake of his creations. As the studio grew, so too did the strain on its workforce. The animators, many of whom were skilled artists in their own right, grew increasingly disillusioned with their working conditions. Long hours, low pay, and a lack of recognition fueled a growing resentment towards Disney and his management team. In 1941, tensions reached a boiling point. The animators, seeking better treatment and fair compensation, went on strike. The strike, a pivotal moment in Disney history, exposed a rift at the heart of the magical kingdom. The 1941 strike shook the Disney studio to its core. What began as a dispute over wages and working conditions quickly escalated into a bitter battle over creative control and the very soul of the Disney brand. The strike lasted for months, crippling production and casting a dark cloud over the once enchanted studio. Disney, deeply hurt by the strike, viewed it as a personal betrayal. He had poured his life into the studio, sacrificing everything for his art. To him, the animator's demands felt like a slap in the face, a rejection of everything he had worked so hard to build. The strike ultimately ended in a settlement, but the scars it left ran deep. The relationship between Disney and his animators was forever changed, marked by a lingering distrust and resentment. The strike also tarnished Disney's public image, revealing a darker side to the man who had built his reputation on bringing joy to the world. As the 1940s wore on, a new shadow fell over America, the Red Scare. The fear of communist infiltration gripped the nation, fueling paranoia and suspicion. Hollywood, seen as a hotbed of liberal ideas, became a prime target for Senator Joseph McCarthy and his House Un-American Activities Committee, or HUAC. Walt Disney, a staunch anti-communist, found himself drawn into the maelstrom. He cooperated with the FBI, providing information about suspected communists within the entertainment industry. Some whispered that Disney, eager to protect his empire and his image, used the Red Scare as an opportunity to settle old scores, blacklisting those who had crossed him in the past. The extent of Disney's involvement with the FBI remains a subject of debate to this day. Some historians argue that he was a willing participant in the witch hunts, eager to purge Hollywood of those he deemed subversive. Others maintain that he was a reluctant informant pressured by the government and fearful of the consequences if he refused to cooperate. Section 5. A Legacy Tarnished. The controversies of Walt Disney's later years cast a long shadow over his legacy. The man who had once been universally adored as a benevolent visionary became a more complex and controversial figure. His image, once synonymous with innocence and joy, now bore the taint of darker truths. The accusations of exploitation, the bitter memories of the animator's strike, and the whispers of McCarthyism clung to Disney's name. The magic, while still potent, was now tinged with a hint of something darker, a reminder that even the most beloved fairy tales often conceal uncomfortable truths. The story of Walt Disney is a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the most brilliant and imaginative minds are not immune to the complexities and contradictions of human nature. It is a story that challenges us to look beyond the surface, to confront the shadows that lurk behind even the most dazzling facades. Section 1. The Happiest Haunts on Earth, Disneyland. The name conjures up images of joyous laughter, cotton candy skies, and the unbridled glee of childhood dreams brought to life. It is a place meticulously crafted to transport us to a realm of pure imagination, a place where the cares of the world melt away, replaced by the sweet melodies of singing pirates and the exhilarating rush of soaring through the cosmos. But beneath the surface of this meticulously maintained facade, a darker energy stirs, whispers of unsettling occurrences, tales of unexplained phenomena. For Disneyland, the self-proclaimed happiest place on Earth, is also rumored to be one of the most haunted places on Earth. Over the years, countless stories have emerged from the labyrinthine corridors of the park, stories whispered by guests and employees alike, tales of ghostly apparitions, unexplained noises, and a lingering sense of unease that permeates certain attractions. These are the tales Disney doesn't publicize, the stories that lurk in the shadows of the Magic Kingdom. Section 2. Shadows in the Magic Kingdom, the Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean. Even the seemingly innocuous, It's a Small World. These beloved attractions, designed to delight and entertain, have become inextricably linked with tales of the paranormal, stories that send shivers down the spines of even the most skeptical visitors. Some dismiss these tales as mere urban legends, fueled by overactive imaginations and a desire to inject a dose of spooky fun into the Disney experience. Others, however, believe that there is more to these stories than meets the eye, that Disneyland, built on a foundation of dreams and imagination, has become a magnet for restless spirits, drawn to the residual energy of countless joyful and perhaps not-so-joyful memories. Whatever the explanation, the stories persist, adding an unsettling layer to the otherwise whimsical atmosphere of the park. They are a reminder that even in the most meticulously crafted fantasy worlds, darkness has a way of seeping in, whispering its secrets to those who dare to listen. One of the most enduring tales of Disneyland's haunted history is that of Mr. One-Way. A mysterious figure said to haunt the Space Mountain ride, his presence a chilling reminder that not all who enter the cosmos return as they once were. According to legend, Mr. One-Way is a spectral hitchhiker, a solitary figure who appears in the queue line, patiently waiting his turn to board the high-speed roller coaster. Witnesses describe him as a nondescript man, dressed in simple clothing, his face often obscured by a hat or the shadows of the queue line. Those who claim to have encountered Mr. One-Way report an overwhelming feeling of unease, a cold chill that seems to emanate from the spectral figure. He remains silent, his gaze fixed on some unseen point in the distance, as if patiently awaiting his departure to a realm beyond our comprehension. It's a Small World, the iconic boat ride known for its catchy tune and whimsical animatronic dolls, might seem like an unlikely setting for a ghost story. Yet, even this saccharine-sweet attraction harbors its share of unsettling tales. Stories that suggest a darker side to the seemingly innocent world of singing children and dancing animals. Cast members, tasked with maintaining the ride and ensuring the smooth operation of its countless animatronic figures, have reported a series of strange occurrences, unexplained noises, flickering lights, and a pervasive feeling of being watched, even when alone in the ride's cavernous interior. But perhaps the most unsettling reports involve the dolls themselves. Some cast members claim to have witnessed the animatronic figures moving on their own after the ride has closed for the night. Their heads turning, their limbs twitching, as if imbued with a sudden, inexplicable life force. Whether these tales are rooted in fact or mere fancy, they add an undeniably eerie layer to the Disneyland experience. They remind us that even in the most carefully constructed fantasy worlds, there are always shadows lurking just beyond the periphery of our vision, unexplained occurrences that defy logic and reason. Perhaps these stories are nothing more than our imaginations running wild, eager to find a hint of the unknown in a world increasingly defined by logic and reason. Or perhaps, just perhaps, there is more to the magic of Disneyland than we can fully comprehend. A residual energy that lingers long after the park gates have closed. A testament to the enduring power of dreams, both light and dark. Disney's impact on popular culture is undeniable. Its animated films have shaped our childhoods and transported us to worlds of wonder. Iconic characters and heartwarming stories are woven into our collective consciousness. But now, these films are scrutinized through a critical lens. Disney's legacy faces a reckoning, confronting uncomfortable truths. Disney's response to criticisms has been mixed. Animation, while often perceived as lighthearted entertainment, possesses a unique power to influence young minds. The exaggerated features, simplified narratives, and catchy songs can leave a lasting impression, shaping a child's understanding of the world and their place within it. It is precisely this power that makes Disney's controversial content so troubling. Critics argue that the studio, intentionally or not, has perpetuated harmful stereotypes through its portrayal of marginalized groups. Characters are often reduced to caricature, their appearances and mannerisms exaggerated to elicit laughter or reinforce preconceived notions. The crows in Dumbo, with their exaggerated features and jive-talking leader, are a particularly egregious example of racial stereotyping. Similarly, the depiction of Native Americans in Peter Pan as primitive and uncivilized reinforces harmful historical narratives. These portrayals, while perhaps not intended to be malicious, reflect the biases of the time in which they were created. However, their inclusion in films marketed to children raises serious concerns about the perpetuation of prejudice and the normalization of harmful stereotypes. The issue of race and representation has plagued Disney since its early days. From the crows in Dumbo to the Siamese cats in Lady and the Tramp, characters of color are often relegated to secondary roles or portrayed in ways that reinforce harmful stereotypes. Critics argue that these portrayals, often presented under the guise of humor or entertainment, contribute to a culture of prejudice and discrimination. Children exposed to these images at a young age may internalize these stereotypes, leading to unconscious bias and perpetuating a cycle of inequality. In recent years, Disney has made some efforts to address these concerns. Films like Moana and Encanto feature strong, independent characters of color, and the company has taken steps to diversify its casting and storytelling. However, many argue that these efforts, while a step in the right direction, are not enough. The legacy of Disney's past continues to cast a long shadow, and true inclusivity requires a more profound examination of the company's history and a commitment to dismantling the systemic structures that perpetuate inequality. Section 4. Beyond the stereotypes, gender roles, and Disney princesses. Disney's early princess films have come under scrutiny for reinforcing outdated notions of femininity. Critics argue these films perpetuate a narrow definition of what it means to be a girl. The classic narrative often revolves around a beautiful, helpless maiden rescued by a handsome prince. In recent years, Disney has modernized its princess narratives. Films like Brave and Frozen feature strong, independent female characters. Disney, faced with mounting criticism and a changing social landscape, is at a crossroads. It can embrace a more inclusive future, acknowledging past mistakes and committing to diverse stories. Films like Raya and the Last Dragon and Turning Red suggest a willingness to tackle complex themes. True change demands a shift in Disney's corporate culture, a commitment to diversity at all levels. The magic, while tarnished, is not lost. Disney, a name synonymous with childhood wonder, a global entertainment behemoth that has captured the hearts and imaginations of generations. From its humble beginnings as a small animation studio, Disney has grown into a sprawling corporate empire, its reach extending far beyond theme parks and animated films. But as Disney's power and influence have grown, so too have concerns about its corporate practices. Critics argue that the company, driven by an insatiable appetite for profit and market dominance, has lost sight of the values that once defined it. Disney's aggressive acquisition of other companies, its ruthless business tactics, and its treatment of workers have tarnished the company's once golden image. The magic, once all-encompassing, is now tinged with a sense of unease, as if a shadow has fallen over the Magic Kingdom. The story of Disney's corporate practices is a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of holding even the most beloved companies accountable for their actions. It is a story that raises uncomfortable questions about the price of our entertainment and the true cost of dreams. Disney's rise to corporate dominance is a testament to its shrewd business acumen and its unparalleled understanding of the entertainment industry. However, this success has come at a cost. Through a series of strategic acquisitions, Disney has amassed a vast library of intellectual property, encompassing everything from beloved animated characters to blockbuster film franchises. This consolidation of power has given Disney an unprecedented level of control over the entertainment landscape. Critics argue that Disney's dominance has stifled competition and limited creative diversity within the industry. With so much power concentrated in the hands of one company, independent studios and artists struggle to compete, leading to a homogenization of content and a narrowing of creative possibilities. The fear is that Disney's monopoly on magic will ultimately harm consumers, depriving them of the choice and variety that a healthy marketplace provides. It is a fear that strikes at the heart of what makes entertainment so vital, its ability to challenge, inspire, and transport us to worlds beyond our own. Behind the carefully crafted facade of Disney's magical kingdom lies a darker reality, the exploitation of workers who make the magic possible. From the employees at its theme parks to the laborers in its overseas factories, Disney has faced accusations of unfair labor practices and inhumane working conditions. Disney's theme park employees, often referred to as cast members, are the face of the company, responsible for maintaining the illusion of magic and ensuring that guests have a memorable experience. However, many of these workers struggle to make ends meet, earning poverty-level wages and facing precarious work schedules that make it difficult to maintain a decent standard of living. The situation is even more dire for workers in Disney's overseas factories, where many of its toys, clothing, and other merchandise are produced. Reports of sweatshop conditions, forced overtime, and child labor have plagued the company for years, casting a dark shadow over its supply chain. The Disney legacy is a complex and contradictory one. Dreams realized and nightmares unveiled, innovation and exploitation, joy and sorrow, magic and shadows. Disney has shaped our childhoods and fueled our imaginations, but we cannot ignore its darker aspects. Engage with Disney critically, acknowledging both magic and shadows. The magic endures, but we must demand better.